I'm good. Thank you. How did you enjoy the conference so far?
It was exciting. I've learned so much, and it was a time to share ideas and to learn from one another.
I agree.
Which is good.
Yeah. And thank you so much for such a great presentation, Leofino. I'm sure our audience and people who attended really learned a lot from it.
Which I appreciate it.
Yeah. So for you, I have just one question that I would love your insights on. How can participatory processes respect cultural, local, and community perspective while upholding universal human rights standards?
I think I will start by asking a question
Okay.
within that context. And the question is, whose reality counts? Is it the reality of an external person, or is it the reality of the people? Because that speaks to respecting the people's local knowledge, respecting their culture, whilst upholding human rights. Because human rights are simply providing a guide. But then my reality, the values that I uphold, the knowledge that I have, the knowledge of our people must be respected. And in most instances, you would find that people who are called experts, when they go into communities, they go with a perspective that people know nothing, and they are actually taking solutions to address the problems of the people without appreciating that does not matter how poor you are or your circumstances, how your circumstances are, but everyone has got something to contribute. And culture and local knowledge are therefore very important, and human rights should respect that. For example, when I engage with communities, I would go in and use a proverb or a metaphor, and something that is aligned to their own language, because then it makes them also feel that they are important in the conversation. So, and with rights go with listening within the human rights context, starting from listening to the local people's definition of justice. What does justice mean to you as a person? And when you talk about rights, what do rights mean to you? For example, for me, justice would mean being able to appreciate that I am also human. And we've got proverbs like, when you think about, as an African, the African philosophy of Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Ubuntu, in my language we call it Ubuntu. I am because we are. That's the first, that's where we start. I am because we are. And the moment you start from that perspective, from the what the people know and what the people appreciate, because our own knowledge is also a framework of research, it's a framework of learning. So it means you cannot talk about human rights when you don't respect the culture of the people. You also have got to recognize that you cannot go into a community and impose solutions.
I agree.
Because if you impose solutions, they will never be sustainable. You've got to go there and find, because communities have got solutions, they've got their own solutions. As an expert in a specific area, you can go and provide support, but not to undermine. In the development language, especially the asset-based development language, we say, there are people who go into a community and see them or view them as half-empty glasses and not as half-full glasses. Now, when you see people from a perspective of a half-empty glass, it means they've got nothing to share. But if you see them from a perspective of a half-full glass, it means there's something you can build on. So when you talk about rights and respecting rights, when you see people as people who've got assets and that you can build on what they know, then just that respect, it enables you to engage and to be able to make meaningful change. So our participatory processes must start from that point of respecting the knowledge, respecting the culture, because when you respect the knowledge and the culture, it means you understand and respect those people. Now, when there's this the book by Chambers, which asks this question, whose reality counts? Mm-hmm. Now, his message was not always that that local knowledge is always right, but it's saying there's a need for universal learning. It's not saying a person who comes from outside is always wrong and local knowledge is always right, but it says there's a need for reversal of learning. The people who are in power must learn to first understand and respect the perspectives of the local people, their priorities, and their definition of well-being. So that is the starting point.
Absolutely. Respecting people's values is so important.
Very important.
So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for your participation.
Okay. Thank you.